So yesterday I decided to take on the challenge of writing, recording, and mixing a song in 3 hours. Here is the song, along with some scattered footage of me making it. Dark nights, clear days, it's all the same. My body creaks, my mind is strange, and everything I learned from you, written in the pens, I'm gonna lose. Dark nights, clear days, it's all the same. My body creaks, my mind is strange, and everything I learned from you, written in the pens, I'm gonna lose. And all that was, all that could be, drawn on so stationary. All things equal, I have to say, I can't complain, my luck's okay. Dark nights, clear days, it's all the same. My body creaks, my mind is strange, and everything I learned from you, written in the pens, I'm gonna lose. And all that was, all that could be, drawn on so stationary. All things equal, I have to say, I can't complain, my luck's okay. I did it. I ended up with about 10 minutes in the end to do the mixing, so that turned out a little rough. But other than that, it was a really cool experience, kind of terrifying for me because I am not a fast worker, and the prospect of doing something like this in a couple of hours is a little bit terrifying, but I did it. And I'm actually really happy with the results. I don't think it's a very complete work, but with a little tweaking, I think it could actually be a really cool song. It's got a lot of potential, at least. I like a lot of the ideas in it. When you force yourself to get something done within a certain time, you kind of... It's not that you can't afford to make mistakes, but you can't afford to change your mind. Once you start down a path, you kind of have to make it work, even if you're not super happy with it or don't necessarily hear where it's going. And that's interesting to me because I think a lot of music is the kind of thing where it's easy to kind of get in your own head, and because you don't hear because it doesn't immediately lock into what you want, you're tempted to just abandon it and kind of come up with another idea, especially in the early phases where you aren't really that committed yet. And putting this limit there means that, well, if you've spent 20 minutes writing out a drum and synth groove or something, you don't have time to change your mind. Those 20 minutes are going to be gone. So it really makes you work to make whatever you have function. And I think that that's a really big component of creativity, is like, the idea is one thing, but you can make anything work if you do it right. If you kind of like really drive at it, maybe in things you didn't expect would turn out well, that's kind of a great way to sort of discover new cool sounds that you didn't really necessarily know you had in you. So yeah, I would recommend doing it yourself. There are certain corners that I cut that I probably wouldn't have if I was doing this for real. Like, the arranging's a bit more thin. Like I say, I only had like 10 minutes left to mix because I spent too much time on other things. So the mix I really don't like. There's a lot I would change about it. The actual performance itself isn't as tight as I would like. In service of big picture, you kind of have to get past all those things. So I'd almost say that this, to me, would be like a really effective way to create demos for new songs. If you're writing a new record, do a challenge like this. Just force yourself to make something in a really strict time limit. And it doesn't matter if it sucks or not. You'll decide that afterwards. Just push forward, do it. And you might end up with something really interesting. And if you do, you can always go back later and tweak it and add things. And that's what I'm probably going to do with this in the end. Do I have anything else to say about this?